Show me.
I'm the Martial Arts Film Freak, and I watched Extraction 2.
Right, everyone okay? Kids, you good?
Why did you come back for them? Do you know her? Tyler?
Extraction 2 is a 2023 film on Netflix, directed by the wonderful Sam Hargrave and starring, of course, Chris Hemsworth, along with a whole lot of other people. Golshifteh Farahani, Adam Bessa, Tornike Gogriciani, Dmitry Kavelashvi, Tinatin Dalekishvili. I'm not doing the rest. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I can't. I can't do European. I can't do, especially the further east you go, the more just absolutely it is. I'm not doing it, and I can't. I can do Asian names. I can do Chinese, Japanese, Korean, some Indonesian, some Thai names. I'm pretty freaking good at those. I've got a lot of experience reading those. But then I go to these European names further east, like I said, the Russia, the Georgia, around there. I can't do it, people. I read 2 or 3 and I feel bad about myself. Extraction 2 follows up sort of directly after the events of the first film. If you remember, our hero, Kyle Rake, played by Chris Hemsworth, was shot a lot of times, including in the neck, and he sort of fell off a bridge into the river. He was fished out. He was gotten out there. Something's happening on my computer over here. Go away. And he's saved. He's also like crazy atrophied, like the muscles in his legs are just gone, and he just somehow manages to pull a total Chris Hemsworth, I guess, and just get jacked again and get back to work. The mission this time is to go into Georgia, and I mean the country, not the state, and rescue his sister-in-law from a prison where she is forced to live with her husband and 2 kids, because her husband is part of a very dangerous gang that is so powerful it practically has control of the military over there, and he has to get her and her children out. Did I say his sister-in-law? I think I said that right, yes. That's the Extraction this time. And it's a big one. It's a big extraction. There's not a lot of plot here. There wasn't a whole lot of plot in the first one either. The movie's called Extraction, and it's about an extraction. That's the story. That's about the most of it. There's a few other deeper details between characters. somebody makes a mistake, does something they shouldn't have done. We go a little bit deeper into Kyle Rake's past, his relationship with his ex-wife, and his sister-in-law here. And I did quite enjoy a lot of that stuff. I enjoy Chris Hemsworth a lot. Chris Hemsworth, is that great combination. He can act really well. He's a fantastic actor. And then when he wants to, he can also just somehow manage to be a fantastic action star. I normally would talk about some, of the filmmaking aspects, the more dramatic side of it, the acting, the story, and, the movie looks good. Of course it does. Sam Hargrave is a fantastic director. I love a lot of the things he does here. But I don't know if I have a lot of those things to say here. The dramatic stuff was really well done. I enjoyed a lot of the acting. I enjoyed a lot of the people involved. Made me happy. Made me think good to see all people in this movie. But this is just a straight up action movie. So I'm just gonna get to the action as fast as I can. That's a lot of action. This is an action movie. Emphasis on the action. The movie part is probably just written in small, fine print. It mostly just says action and then movie. The movie takes only a few minutes to really get into it. We see the events of the first film. We see, the results of that movie. And then he pretty quickly gets a mission from an Idris Elba. Surprise Idris. That was quite scary. Didn't expect to see that guy, He just recently had to fight off some lions, so I'm happy to see he's okay. But then again, he is also Black Superman. Let's just see how many other things I can reference that had Idris Elba in it. Luther! That's not a reference, that's just calling things out. So he gets this mission, and he takes it. He gets his group together. And one thing I really enjoyed, before I totally dive into what makes the action so fun, is I enjoyed that there's more people this time, It wasn't just him maybe teaming up like he did in the first movie with the guy who he thought was going to be his nemesis. Now they're buddy friends, and they do the mission together. No, he brings like his team in this time, and I really quite enjoyed that. You really only get 2 people in there. You get the woman from the first film and her brother, and then you have everybody else that they work with sort of just in the background. It's kind of just those 3, and I really enjoyed all their dynamics. I thought they were really fun. Everybody had their role to play, and I'm really happy to see he didn't go it alone this time. But if we actually just get into the action, holy crap, that was maybe the longest take action sequence I've ever seen. And I've seen action movies where the whole movie is supposed to be one take. Oh my god, it was long. This action sequence begins with him breaking into the prison, getting her out of the cells, going into the courtyard, escaping the main facility of the prison, getting out. Then we got the car chase, and again, just like the first movie, it's a good freaking car chase, and it moves on over to a different area. It goes over to a train, it goes over to a helicopter. This single take had so many forms of transportation. You would have assumed that Steve Martin was using one to get home for Christmas. It was crazy. Or was that Thanksgiving? No, that was the movie Due Date. Yes. It was fantastic, and it went through so many different styles of action as it did so. I wouldn't say it really got as clean of a martial arts as the first movie, and that may be my only real issue with the movie, is that it didn't ever get to that point of just being clean, crisp martial arts. The first one did just a little bit. The first one did with all the knife stuff between him and the other guy who he eventually teamed up with, and that was really fun to see. This movie never really got to that. It mostly was brawling, just crazy, epic, wonderful brawling. Then of course you throw in the car stuff, you throw in a whole lot of guns, you throw in the helicopter, and that's when he starts using miniguns. It's insanity nuts, and I gotta say, it was absolutely glorious. Even though this scene was incredibly long, this take, with all of its hidden cuts wherever they are, I'm sure they're there, because they covered some distance. It was wonderful. It was glorious. The length of it meant nothing. The length of it took nothing away, is what I mean to say there. It was pretty perfect. And the movie continues this style of action throughout. Bits of fisticuffs, lots of gunplay. Sadly, for me, maybe a little too much gunplay. I would have liked some more fisticuffs, but that's all right. No scene after that. I suppose this may be a similar trend to the first movie. No scene after the single take matched the epicness, maybe. I think there is some good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff after that. I really actually enjoyed a lot of the character moments after that, which were quite nice. Good way to halt the action a little bit. Let us breathe a bit, have some character, and that was quite good. I liked it a lot. But no action sequence up until after that captured the imagination quite as much, that's fine. You don't have to do that the entire movie, even though some movies do that. John Wick Chapter 4. But it still had a lot of really fantastic action after that, a lot of really good stuff, but nothing just quite as memorable. And I tell you, the most disappointing thing here, and this would have made it memorable, it really would have, is one of the villains is played by the excellent Daniel Bernhardt, a wonderful martial artist, a spectacular actor, a glorious stuntman. I absolutely love the man. I love everything he does. So he's in this, and it's clear. It's clear when you really kind of see him in his first action scene that he is ready to throw down. He's ready to go, because when he shows up at one point, they're kind of doing like a bit of a chase scene through a parking garage, I believe it was, and I think he drops his weapons and he takes out a knife and he starts throwing, and I'm like, we're going. We're gonna have to get Chris Hemsworth versus Daniel Bernhardt, and it's gonna be epic. But they don't fight just that point. He takes out another guy, and he hauls it, and he gets to the people he needs to protect to extract, because the movie's called Extraction 2. And I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. This is a teaser. That was just a tease. We're gonna get the real fight scene. We're gonna get the real conclusion. We're gonna have this epic fight scene with the main right-hand man later on. And that later on right over there, never came. It never showed up. It never arrived. I was quite upset. It sucks. I was really bummed out. I'm paying attention to the movie. I'm sitting, I'm leaning back in my seat, and I'm enjoying this movie. I'm enjoying this film. And then Daniel Bernhardt shows up later on, shows up in that last 20, 25 minutes of the movie, whatever it is. And I'm not just sitting back anymore enjoying the movie. I'm leaning forward. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch something epic. And they have a little bit of a scrap And that's it. And I leaned back again and thought, well, shit. But it's okay, because the final action sequence was a lot of fun. Again, it wasn't like a lot of close-knit martial arts or tight choreography. It was just straight up brawling, but it was some good brawling. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's go ahead and get to the end of this movie here. Let's wrap this up. I am going to give Extraction 2, for all of its action glory here, I think, at the end of the day, this is just a straight-up action movie, and I'm going to rate it on the action, because I can't stress this enough. Extraction 2 was an extraction movie. I think that works. I'm going to give Extraction 2 a 4.5 out of 5. Now, you may be thinking, if you're going to rate this on being an extraction movie as an action movie, why not a 5? Because the action's pretty goddamn perfect. And I gotta say, just, it's not totally my style of action movie. I love me some shooty gun movies, as I've said before. They're not all my thing. If they're done really, really well like this one was, it's quite good. But then you got those moments where I've got Daniel Bernhardt. You're gonna give me Daniel Bernhardt. You're gonna tease me with Daniel Bernhardt versus Chris Hemsworth, and then you're just not gonna give it to me. And that made me sad. That's kind of the main driving force of not having that final half a point there. It's kind of a big bummer. The 4.5 out of 5 for Extraction 2. I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. We are just on a good roll this year. I'm enjoying this year of film quite a bit. I've given quite a few movies some really high ratings, and that makes me really, really happy. Did you see the Mario movie? I don't think I gave that one a very high rating, but that movie exists. So tell me what you thought of Extraction 2 in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook, where there is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page, Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak, Tristan_Glover on the Twitter, and Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. Also, head over to the merch store, that direction, for some pretty cool t-shirts that I designed that I think are pretty nice, pretty sweet. And then I've also got a Patreon I started up recently. Super low cost, support the channel. Anything that goes in there is just straight up going into the channel to make it better, to make it nice, to make it sweet. And that's all I'm doing there. That's all I'm doing reviews for movies that maybe won't get discussed on the channel here, because they're pretty obscure and I don't think they'll do very good numbers, like everything else on this channel does. Amazing numbers. I'm a billionaire because of YouTube. I don't live in an apartment. And then, I'm doing movie commentaries. I'm doing some other stuff on there. I'm getting creative. I'm doing fun stuff, trying to. So tell me what you thought of Extraction 2 in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I already did all this. What am I doing? Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.